3:58 to the half. The Rams leading 10-3 on a pass to Willie Miller and a 43-yard field goal by Frank Corral. The Vikings scored in the first quarter a 42-yard field goal by Rick Danmeyer. And the Rams now have it 1st and 10 on their own 32. In motion, Willie Miller. Play action fake to Colin Bryant. Hayden down the middle, and it's intercepted by Bobby Bryant. And Bryant is going to be tackled by Ron Jesse. Laterals to Wally Hilgenberg. Hilgenberg with Willie Miller slinging him out of bounds at the 38, and there'll be flags as the fight starts. Willie Miller grabbing veteran Wally Hilgenberg, slinging him to the ground. Take another look at it. Play action fake to Colin Bryant. And Bobby Bryant, 10 years out of South Carolina, picks it off.
Vinny, that's that short corner pass to White we talked about, and the corner dropped off and picked it off. A nice play by Bryant. Now Minnesota has a chance to get back in here.
This is the linebackers with Seaman number 50, McNeil 54, and Blair 59 taking their drops. And going deep was the tight end Terry Nelson, and there you see Bryant cutting right in front of him.
We read that perfectly, and they were in a 34.
Watch Hilgenberg.
A penalty will be assessed against Willie Miller and the Rams on this play. Miller grabbing big Hilgenberg, spinning him and throwing him down. Unnecessary roughness. Hilgenberg, 15 years playing as a pro, came up steaming. And Willie Miller, who was more or less of a mouse that roared on that play. And that's a big penalty against the Rams. 1st and 10. A pitch back to Chuck Foreman. And Foreman is going to pass. No good. Intended for Ahmad Rashad. And it was a schoolyard pass of Flutter.
Well, it didn't fool anybody.
No, there wasn't anybody open, and he showed pass all the way, so they didn't fool the Rams.
What do you mean showed pass all the way, Coach?
Well, he came out instead of showing run, Jim. What we like is to make the play look like a run, and then throw the pass.
Should have put the ball away, sprint it out.
He came out
then
and let everybody know he's going to pass.
2nd and 10.
Good call, though, by the way.
27.
In that area of the field, Vinny, that's a good call because you sometimes force too quickly and the man's open.
Tarkington trying to get on the scoreboard before the half thanks to that interception by Bobby Bryant. Tarkington is going to go over the middle to Ricky Young, and he made the reception at the 5 and rolls into the 2. A great catch by Ricky Young.
What a
catch.
Well, the Rams were in their nickel defense again, and here's Isaiah dogging. They're trying to put the pressure on him. And a guy like Tarkington is going to pick the open man. He underthrew the ball, but a great catch by Ricky Young.
Ricky was so wide open.
Look at that. A better pass he'd have scored.
1st and goal on the 2. The Vikings now call timeout. Tarkington with Robert Miller and Chuck Foreman in the backfield wants to go over and talk to his coach, Bud Grant. Tarkington has been doing what we figured he'd do, throw the ball. He is 12 for 23, 176 yards. He has thrown 2 interceptions to Bill Simpson. That's Bob Lee, number 19, and Tommy Kramer, number 9. Kramer, injured back in October in a collision with Jim Youngblood, has not played a single play since.
You know, one of the things I used to worry about Tarkington down in here, Jim, is that he'd give you a play-action pass, and in here, he'll run it in now. He sees the goal line 2-3 yards away. He'll run it in. So you got the threat of Tarkington's running, stopping the run, and the play-action pass.
He has an option of everything on you, Coach. You know what I mean?
By the way, as they huddle over there, a reminder, each team has 2 timeouts left in the half with 1 minute and 4 seconds left. So Minnesota using the first of 3, 2 left, and Francis having talked to Bud Grant. Rand Tarkington, 18 years out of Georgia. Boy, that's a lot of playing.
Great year. And the first game he played was against the Chicago Bears in Minneapolis.
How'd he come out?
He had 5 touchdown passes.
And the first one?
Yeah, that's right.
1st and goal. The ball is just inside the 3-yard line. Thanks to that great catch by Ricky Young. Craig in motion. Foreman trying to get outside. Dreyer can't do it. And Freddie Dreyer just reached out and upended him. Eckern came over to fell over. Eckern, number 55. But it was a marvelous play by Freddie Dreyer, number 89. Watch Dreyer.
You know, Freddie Dreyer is a guy that's supposed to be carefree and happy and but he's a studious football player. He knows his assignments. He knows the assignments of his teammates, and he's always ready to play.
I would say he should be a Rams captain. I mean, he's an intellectual guy. He's really dedicated.
Yeah.
Well, the Vikings take another timeout.
Smart on Tarkenton.
That means they have one timeout left and 38 seconds to the half.
You know, Vinny, what they're going to probably have to do, with their lack of a running game, they're probably going to have to throw it in, throw both down.
It is 2nd and goal. They spot the ball at the 5. Tarkenton appears somewhat annoyed and distressed besides over that last play.
Well, you shouldn't lose yardage down there, Vinny. They lost a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
You know, when Minnesota lost to the Rams in October, actually Minnesota led for 3 quarters in that game, and only after Chuck Foreman was kicked out of the game did the Rams pull it out. There's Rick Danmeyer, who might figure either for a field goal or the point after to tie it up. And as far as the running game is concerned for Minnesota, only Chuck Foreman has run 8 carries for only 13 yards.
You know what happens, Vinny, though? When you don't run the ball a lot, when you leave your running game and you go to your passing game, your running game is going to get worse because you do not practice it in practice.
The last time they met in October, Foreman carried 9 times for only 17 yards.
Rams were in their regular standard defense. So
2nd and goal.
43.
Ball on the 5. Young and Foreman in the backfield. Chuck Foreman hit by Cody Jones first and then stopped. And Tarkenton, looking at the clock, 30 seconds and counting, asking his players for a quick huddle. That was 2nd down. So he has one more shot and then perhaps has to settle for the field goal. 20 seconds. And he has a timeout left.
Better get going.
Rashad goes wide left, White wide right. Tucker, the tight end, on the right side. He's going to pass for it. Intended for Rashad. Touchdown. Is he ever something?
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Tarkenton perfectly sets it up and then hits Ahmad Rashad over the middle. He was wide open.
He's in control. Perfect pass.
For Rashad, his 9th touchdown reception of the year.
Well, actually, what you have, Tarkenton has an all-consuming pass attack. He uses everybody. All of his offensive men are good pass receivers.
Now the big point after by Rick Danmeyer. It is up, a flag on the play, and let's hold everything. Penalty markers down. It is 10-9 in favor of the Rams. However, the Vikings are acting as if the Rams were guilty of the infraction. The kick is a bullseye, and we'll get the official call.
On the defense, extra point is good. Be 5 yards on the kickoff.
So Red Cashin tells you that the Rams are caught with an extra U on the field, and it is 10-10, the Rams and the Vikings.
A lot of that's happened this year, Vinny.
That's Canadian football.
How can that happen, Coach? How can you do that in such a clutch spot?
You send somebody in and the other guy doesn't come off, but that very seldom should happen. That shouldn't happen because suppose he missed that point now.
Right, sure.
That's the ball game. Every play is the ball game, and that's what you have to sell your players. They think, well, we got 30 more plays, 40 more plays. This time you break the huddle is the ball game.
We have 6 seconds to go to halftime as the Vikings tied up 10-10 will kick off. And don't forget, at halftime, the NFL Today with Brent, Jane, and Irv. And another underdog giving a favorite a bad time. Atlanta gave Dallas a bad time at home. Houston wrecked New England at home. And the Vikings are even with the Rams here in Ram territory.
I'd squib this, Jim, right now. I wouldn't give him a chance to bring it all the way back. I'd kick it all the way down, but squib it.
Rick Danmeyer, who has just tied up the game, is ready to kick off. Deep for the Rams, number 43, Jim Jodak. But we'll see if they even give him a chance to make the return. Remember, from the penalty, the ball is spotted at the 40-yard line, and it's a knuckleball down the middle, picked up by Dan Reisick. He laterals to Jim Jodat at the 30, and they'll take him down at the 34, and that's it. So Reisick laterering the kick back to Jodat to no avail. Time has run out, and the first half is history, and it's a dandy of a first half.
Look at the Vikings, how spry they are going in there now.
And that's why I like working with you, Coach, because you call the plays and then the other coach calls the plays.
Hang with it, gang. 10-10 at the half.
We start with good fresh chicken. chicken like we know we should.
11 herbs and spices make it finger-licking good.
We don't freeze, roll, or chop it. It's chicken, nothing more.
That's a real good reason why smart folks come here more. It's so nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh no, my line takes early.
Whew. You sure didn't spend any time getting dressed.
Linda, tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Maybe he'd look better in Hager's slacks. Or Hager's sport coat and slacks. He could even afford a Hager vested suit. And that's a look I can't afford to pass up. Hi.
Susan?
Close enough.
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
Ready or not, here I come.
Come on, Kurt.
Well, that's the way us amateurs do it, but wait till you see how the professionals do it on the Hollywood Stuntmen's Competition. You'll see it all right here on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
We are tied at halftime, and joining us is the man who directs the Oakland Raiders, Al Davis. And Al, what'd you think about the first half?
Well, it was, like we all said at the beginning, it was a very conservative football game, and I think the Rams are quite lucky that at the present time it's only 10-10, and as the game stays close late in the game, we look possibly for an upset, and that's something that we all don't think really will happen.
Al, you think there's more blitzing in the playoffs than you saw during the regular season?
Well, I would say even today that the Rams had two high-risk blitzes and were caught in both of them. The pass to Ricky Young and then the big pass to Rashad early in the game. We saw it early today when New England blitzed Pastorini. And I think Pittsburgh yesterday blitzed quite a bit in key situations. And really, I didn't expect this high-risk blitzing to go on.
Al, what's all the furor between you and Kenny Stabler?
Oh, I don't think there's any furor between Al Davis and Kenny Stabler. Certainly not on my part, Brent. We think we've dominated professional football in terms of consistent victory in recent years, and there's no question that the most vital part of our domination has been our quarterback, Kenny Stabler. And it's an unfortunate thing when sometimes things get taken out of context, but Kenny is a great player, and the Oakland Raiders have greatness in their future, and we have a commitment that we'll be back.
Well, speaking of that commitment, I keep reading about John Madden and the New York Giants. You're not going to let Big John get away.
John Madden's a great football coach, and to even discuss him would kind of be demeaning. He's coached 10 years for the Oakland Raiders. He's won over 100 football games, and I think he hanks the rank with the great coaches of professional football, and we're proud of the record of John Madden.
Looking ahead to the AFC Championship game, Houston and Pittsburgh, Jimmy has established Pittsburgh as the favorite by less than a touchdown. You kind of like those Oiler folks, though, don't you?
No, I really think it's a little early to pick winners and all. I'd have to say that they're both dynamic football teams. Pastorini and Bradshaw are fantastic. The one thing that's unique, I think that the only three-man line team left in the playoffs is Houston. The only quarterback left in the playoffs who doesn't scramble or doesn't run is Pastorini. But Pittsburgh is dynamic, they're tough, and I think it's a little early to pick the winner.
Al, we got a surprise for you. Your favorite play of the year from the San Diego game. You brought this new dimension to offensive football. And listen, how long have the Oakland Raiders worked on this forward fumble play up there, Al, during their training camp? How far back does it go?
You know, the funny part, Brent, is after the ball game, when the press went to Kenny Stabler, what Kenny said was he was trying to throw the ball away, which is perfectly legal in professional football. He wanted to throw it away so we'd get one more play. Banaszak was intelligent enough to see that the ball had been fumbled, scooped it, and of course Casper, he has a high IQ, he's from Notre Dame, and he picked it up in the end zone.
All right, Al. Thank you very much, and the NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local station.